Uh, Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk by What After College. Uh, can all you just very quickly in the comment section write down from which part of the city we are having our country we are having our audience so we can get an idea. Okay, from Rajasthan. People are still joining. Oh, so we have people from New Delhi, from Darbhanga. Okay, great. From Gujarat. Okay. So let me just go on with my presentation. Okay, so let me just very quickly tell you about what is the vision of What After College. So the vision of What After College is to eradicate unemployment from India by making India's youth job ready. So what after college? It is a very common question in the minds of the students. To answer this question, whataftercollege.com has created a platform called Let's Talk. On this platform, we invite industry dignitaries to share their experiences, journey, and skills for the learning, growth, and counseling of our students. We conduct Let's Talk webinar on every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 4 p.m. These were the events for this week. Today we have Mr. Avelo Roy with us. These are the events of the past week, and these are some other events that we have conducted. If you want to get a regular update from Let's Talk, you can just hit the YouTube icon on our Let's Talk page. Also, I'll share a link of the WhatsApp group in the comment section. You can just click on that and join our WhatsApp group for regular updates. This Let's Talk webinar is sponsored by What After College Workshop Series. In these workshop series, you will be get trained by industry experts. You can also build a career roadmap for yourself. You will be working on projects with those experts, and you will also get a participation certificate. We conduct these workshops every weekend. I'll tell you more about these workshops in detail at the end of the webinar. You will also get a certificate for these webinar if you will fill the feedback form for this. Okay, so today we have Mr. Avelo Roy with us. He is the managing director at Kolkata Ventures. He is speaking 500 plus engagements in US and India, including White House panel for entrepreneurship education, Startup America, Invest India at Rashtrapati Bhavan, TEDx Talks, Josh Talks, and many more. He has also won 150 plus awards in India, US, and Canada and China, and he has also mentored 1800 plus startups in India, US, Canada, and China. He started his first startup at the age of 19 while he was studying as a computer engineer at the Illinois Institute of Technology. He built it into a multi-million dollar valuation by the age of 22. He has built 8 businesses in the US and India with multi-million dollars worth of products and services ranging from customer electronics, artificial intelligence system, healthcare process automation, food science, wireless communication, technology, and graphical password applications. So today, Mr. Avilo will be talking about the skills required for future jobs in artificial intelligence and automation. So over to you, sir. You can take the webinar from here.
Thank you very much, Harsh, for inviting me. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, I'm hoping I am. All right. So the topic I've been told is about the skills that are required for future jobs, especially in the age of AI and automation. So actually, it was my third TED talk that I gave at IIT Bhubaneswar on this topic. It's a very interesting aspect because as an entrepreneur, you're supposed to be a futurist. You're supposed to envision what the future holds for you. And based on that, take decisions. And not just an entrepreneur, any leader, any person who's planning their life and want to do something amazing with their life needs to look at the future. So when you look at the future, the immediate future, there is a few things that we know, and there are many we don't know that's going to happen. The first thing is 5G technology. So as 5G technology comes in, virtual reality and augmented reality combined is called extended reality. So like right now we are on Zoom, we are communicating through a screen. The extended reality allows teleporting. For example, not necessarily you are moving, but your 3D projection on a conference room on chair, and as if you're almost there, and you can be around the world and be present in a conference room, right? Driverless cars, for example, automation. So let me give you a little story, a little background. So as you heard, I have done many businesses in the US and India. The last company that I exited, that was a healthcare automation startup in the US. The way it worked is there's a doctor's office where people get their things checked and whatnot. So that goes to the medical billing company. The billing company fixes the errors and issues, and that goes to the insurance. Insurance pays the doctor. So what we were employed to do was one of the biggest medical billing companies engaged our company to build automation within their medical billing system. So we ended up, it was a multi-million-dollar project, and we ended up automating 90% of the company. That means 90% of the people who were working in that healthcare billing company got fired because of our software. Now understand this. What those guys would do in 7 days, my software does in 1/6 of a second. And not only that, the software doesn't need any breaks, maternity leaves, salary, weekends, nothing. It works 24/7. So naturally, the billing company's profitability went through the roof, and the doctors never got to know about it. And that's okay. Doctors don't need to know as long as their work is getting done. So what happened was the 10% that couldn't be replaced, and that's what is my talk is going to be about. That aspect. Who are the people who cannot be replaced with automation and AI? And those are the skills that are the most important today. And it's going to be more so post, more automation, 5G, AI, more enabled, future that we have. So the 10% who couldn't be replaced were the relationship managers. They were the interface between doctor and the billing company. They are the ones for 15 years, 10 years, have the relationship with the doctor, make sure the doctor, everything is fine, he gets paid on time and whatnot, right? So those 10% could not be replaced by software because their job is not predictable. Their job is not it's not something that you can automate because it's more relationship oriented. We humans are not robots. We don't follow a certain way. I mean, we do have certain things that can be automated, but most of it is spontaneous. So that requires another human being to deal with it. So what I learned from that is that although we were able to make a lot of money and get a lot of people fired, unfortunately, I didn't like that part. Let me be honest with you. But one thing I learned is a lot of people are going to get fired, and especially those in their 40s and 50s are probably not going to get another job. They're going to just retire early because life has moved on and their skills have not. So yes, you need skills. You need soft skills and hard skills both. But what you really need is to be a human being, because your left side of your brain is analytical. It can do processing like mathematics, computational things, right? So whether it's accounting, whether it's whatever to do with analytical skills, right? Operations, all of that can be done by the left side of the brain. The right side of the brain is creative. It is emotional. That's where music, that's where creativity, that's where emotions, connection with human beings, speaking ability, writing ability, all of that creative aspect is happening, right? Now, given that, the left side of the brain, where the analytical side happens, computers are good at math, right? Nobody can beat a computer when it comes to processing numbers. So all the stuff that is left oriented can be automated, can be taken over. All the stuff that's right oriented are what we are superior than machines. So you have to understand that. That means we have the ability to do things that are spontaneous, that only a conscious being, that means, so what does a conscious being mean? So I'm going to get a little philosophical here. So because I also teach Bhagavad Gita, I'm a student of Bhagavad Gita. And one of the things to understand is that this body, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the jantra rudhani mayaya, that this body is This body is a jantra, so it means it's a machine. And in a machine, what happens is you give food, you give fuel, the machine works perfectly. You have to take care of the machine, and once the machine starts not working, it dies. But there is something more than just the machine. There is the soul, there is the atma, right? And the soul is who we are, and that's what makes us superior than other, machines, like a computer or a car. So that soul, that atma, is what where the consciousness is, and where we feel things, we love things, we experience things, joy, sadness, all of that happens. For example, my phone, I can say, Siri, crack a joke. Don't crack a joke. Siri, crack a joke, and it'll crack a joke for me, right? But it doesn't feel happiness. I feel happiness because I'm a conscious being, right? So it's very, very important that one understands that aspect, and that's how we are superior than machines. And if we can understand that, we will focus on being a human, because that's where our competitive advantage is over machines. Now, what does a human do better than machines? A human can innovate, a human can be creative, a human can be spontaneous, a human can communicate in a way that can convince the other person, a human can seduce, a human can appreciate and make the other person happy, because it's coming from self volition, it's not coming from programmed, automated software, right? So, what we can get from a human is not something we can get from machines on an emotional level, and that's where the strength of a human being lies. And as you see, as life is going on, even today, you can see so many people are making money on Instagram, and a few months ago, so many people were making money on TikTok. These people didn't have PhDs, they didn't have even college degrees in many cases, but they were making lakhs of money every month. Why? Because with automation, with AI, people have more time. When industrial revolution happened, at that time, the automation that happened at that period opened up time for the movie industry to pop up, for the sports industry to pop up. People had time to listen to radio, right? Because there was automation, industrial automation back in the days. India missed out on that. Today, India is at the forefront of IT revolution. And in the IT revolution, today we are able to automate a lot of things. But in the process, we have forgotten how to be humans again. And that's where the strength lies. And those who are able to do it are becoming creators, YouTubers, Instagrammers, bloggers, and they choose to work when they want. They choose not to work when they want. They have freedom, they have flexibility, and they are making money. Even as teenagers, they're minting so much money, right? What does that tell you? That tells you that either you be a creator, or you better have really hardcore technical skills to thrive in tomorrow's world. So entertainment is going to be a big part. When people have time opened up, people are going to find themselves what to do, and you get tired of watching movies or the same people. So you need to be entertained, you need to be surprised, you need to feel happy. And that's why TikTok was such a big hit. Instagram is such a big hit. Facebook is, people spend so much time on these apps because they want to entertain themselves. And even if you look at Hotstar and Netflix and all of that, right? Everything has changed. How the movie industry used to be and how the movie industry is today. People don't like to go out of their home. They want to order food on Swiggy. They want to watch Netflix with friends and just be at home and be happy. And especially with COVID-19 and lockdown, that's the way to go. You want to maintain social distancing, so you're at home. What do? You entertain yourself. So entertainment is going to be massive. Knowledge is going to be massive. So we are forced to stay at home and learn. So many people are monetizing on that. They're selling knowledge, ebooks or courses or webinars and things like that, right? So knowledge is become so easily accessible. The best professors, teachers, experts, industry experts are available. You all are from all over India, and sitting in Calcutta, and we are all connected, right? And we are all learning from each other. I'm not able to learn from you, unfortunately, because I don't see you. But hopefully, during Q&A session, with your questions, maybe I can learn also something from you. But the point is that learning has become easy. Even doctors are doing surgeries virtually. Somebody in America can be doing video conferencing and even moving the arm, surgical arms, remotely, and with 5G technology, that's going to be even more possible. So all I'm saying is, to have a job tomorrow, to be relevant tomorrow, you need a few skills, and I'm going to list it out. And I hope you're writing it down. First thing is, learn to speak better, learn to write better. That means communicate in an effective way. Because no matter what you do, no matter how skilled you are, if you're not able to communicate, you are going to miss out on many opportunities. Job interviews, you have to communicate. Whether you're pitching to an investor or you're a startup entrepreneur, you have to communicate, you have to sell. Whether you're dating, you have to communicate about your strengths and weaknesses, etc. Right? Getting the other person to like you. So constantly you have to communicate. So communication skills, speaking, writing. That means not, hey, how's it going? But a subject line on your email that makes somebody open the email. Right? That means your LinkedIn profile, your Facebook profile, your Instagram profile. How do you communicate with others? How do you portray yourself? What do people think about you? So communication skills. Two is, if you're creative, then design skills could be very, very useful. All right. Design doesn't just mean graphic design. Design means user interface, user experience. These are hugely paying. I mean, I have to pay for every good app that is built, good website that's built. I have to pay like 2 to 3 lakhs, sometimes 5 lakhs for a UI UX designer, user interface, user experience designer. That means the app that is being built or the website that's being built is designed with psychology in mind. Where would the customer click? Where would somebody, on e-commerce website, for example, let's say Amazon, right? What to place where? This is all a science. It's been done over and over again. And in the US, it's taught in the universities. In India, it's hardly taught anywhere except for maybe NIFT, right? So it's not a skill that we have in India, but you can learn from blogs. You can learn online on Coursera or Udemy. You can learn through various means. And that's a huge amount of money to be made, because instead of hiring 10,000 salespeople, today, one website with a proper UI UX can sell millions, just by having the right design, the right color, the button with the right text, with the right font, the contrast, the background. All of these affect our decision making in buying things on a subconscious level. So UI UX is very, very powerful. Then comes coding skills. Now, not everybody is, so coding requires left brain, analytical, right? But not everybody is very good at coding. Many people are, especially engineers can be. But the thing is, it's not about being good at coding. It's about learning logic. Coding teaches you logic. And Bill Gates says this as well, that coding teaches you logic. When you have the right logic, you can think, make decisions in the right way. For example, one of the very basic things about programming is if then else statement, right? When you're making a life decision, there's always a, if this happens, then let's that happen, or else this happens, right? So its life moves in that direction, the way coding works. So if you know a little bit of basic coding also, it can really help you be more logical, so that you can have a combination of emotion and logic to make right decisions in your life. Whether you're an entrepreneur or employee, it doesn't matter. You will always have the need for a little bit of coding everywhere. Then comes your ability for hashtag and search engine optimization. Many teenagers are making shitload of money from that, because today, if you're not seen on Google or on social media, you don't exist. And hashtags make you visible on LinkedIn and Instagram. SEO, search engine optimization, makes you visible on Google. And I proudly tell people, just Google me and you'll know everything you need to know about me. All right. So people Google Avelo Roy, and there's like 13 pages worth of articles and videos and things about me that's written. So I don't have to tell people who I am. People just Google and find out about me, and they reach out to me. So visibility is important. Now, I'm grateful that my parents put a name that is very unique, Avelo Roy. So people, it's easy for people to find me, because there is no other person with that name in this world. But SEO is important for anyone. Personal brand is going to be important for anyone, because when somebody's going to meet you, before they meet you, they're going to Google you, they're going to LinkedIn you, they're going to Instagram you and find out who you are. And based on that, they're going to make business decisions or hiring decisions based on that. Many people I've known who've gotten fired or didn't get a job because their Facebook profile had pictures of them doing crazy things. that they shouldn't be, or making comments that they shouldn't be making publicly, and those led to them not getting their dream job or dream opportunity. So it's very important that you know how to optimize your social media, how to put in the right text keywords that people are searching, that they should find you. So let's say you're looking for a project management job, right? So your LinkedIn profile needs to have the word project management at least 2 to 3 times, either in the, or not either, but in the summary section, in the job description or past internship section, or other places where, when people are searching project management in, let's say, your city, you pop up because you're optimized for that keyword. So very important that you learn these skills to be visible, because tomorrow it's not going to be physical, as most things are going to be digital. And if you don't have a digital presence, you don't exist. Please understand that. And another thing you need to understand is there's the 1% and the 99%. The 1% are the people who create, they're the entrepreneurs, they're the leaders, and the 99% consume. Now the 1% also consumes, but they consume to create more, right? So for example, I'm always, every day I listen to audiobooks. I have some knowledge, I have some experience, but every day I'm learning more, and every day I'm applying that knowledge in my life. And when I apply that knowledge, then it becomes realized knowledge, and through that I'm able to get better and better and better at being a better manager, a better son, a better business partner, a better human being. All of that, I'm growing in my life. So it's important that we continue to learn and apply those learnings and be visibly present in the digital world, because especially with COVID-19 and other things that are going to happen, it's just evident things are going to, there's going to be natural calamities because of global warming. So our generation is going to face so many difficulties throughout our lives. So most of us will probably choose to be at home, and at home the only way to be out there is digitally, right? So we have to master the art of digitally being present around, with the right people. Not present for everyone. We are not Shah Rukh Khan, Amitabh Bachchan, that their fan base can be from the CEO to the rickshawala. That's not what we are trying to be. We are trying to focus on people who will give us opportunities, who will give us jobs, who will invest in our companies, who will, or dates or whatever else, right? So that's our focus. So our focus audience needs to find us, and we need to know what they're looking for, and we need to be visible for it. The age of resume is over. The age of LinkedIn is now, right? That's where every job employer is there, and they're looking through LinkedIn to find the next hire. In fact, I'm looking for some very good people to hire, interns to hire, and I go on LinkedIn. I just put one post, and I'll get hundreds and hundreds of people applying for it, right? Why should I pay a headhunter? Why should I go to an HR firm? I don't need to. I don't need to even hire a HR person, because my LinkedIn has 21,000 followers. And if I put anything, there's plenty of people who are willing to apply for it. So fantastic. I get to hire from my own network, people who love me, who watch my videos, who connect with my content. So I have all of that. So that's fantastic. So that's the future. And you have to be ahead of the curve to be successful. It's too late if you're joining LinkedIn at the time of graduation. You should join LinkedIn when you're doing internship in your second year, third year, fourth year, etc. Right? So all I'm saying is there are skills that are relevant for tomorrow, to be visible tomorrow, to get the opportunities tomorrow. And one of the first things is being a human being, being relatable, being likable, knowing how to communicate, but also knowing how to code, how technology works, knowing to be visible digitally, right? Through SEO, through hashtag optimization, knowing how to project manage, break down your tasks, manage your life, right? Have deadlines for everything. If you go to aveloroy.com, my website, you will see the first thing it says there is empower your dream with the deadline. Because we all have dreams and we think someday it will happen. And we don't know when that someday will come. And the only way to know that is to actually set a deadline for ourselves, that by this date, it has to happen. There's a very wonderful Hollywood comedian. His name is Jim Carrey. Many of you might know him. So Jim Carrey was a nobody in the 90s, and he was just learning acting and all of that. One day he drove up a mountain, looked at the stars. Today nobody knows me. But by Thanksgiving of 1996, I will be the highest paid Hollywood actor. And he wrote a $10 million check, and he kept that check in his wallet. And every day he would look at that check, $10 million check that he wrote to himself, and he dated it. He gave a date, Thanksgiving, 1996. And the movie Dumb and Dumber happened, where he actually got $10 million to do the movie 10 days or a week before Thanksgiving, 1996. Right? Now, is that hokey pokey, hocus pocus? No, that's science. Because when you give deadline to your brain, there's something called the reticular activating system in your brain. So when you wake up, sometimes you're in a daze, like there is dream state versus reality. You don't know if you're dreaming or you're in reality. So that's where your reticular activating system is focusing on reality. Okay, from dream you come to reality. So same reticular activating system is also the one. So when you buy a red car or you get a new phone, you start noticing that phone everywhere. It's not like other people didn't have the same phone before. It's just that your reticular activating system is now aware, is focusing on that phone or the new car that you bought. Similarly, when you give yourself a deadline that by this deadline I have to meet such and such goal, what happens is your reticular activating system looks for opportunities that you wouldn't otherwise notice, that you would miss otherwise, and it finds those opportunities and focuses and pushes forward to meet that deadline, to meet the goal that you've set for the deadline. If you don't do it, the reticular activating system never activates, and you miss out on opportunities that are going past because you're like, someday it will happen. Someday I'll be rich. Someday I'll have a BMW. Someday I'll be doing this, and someday I'll marry that person. So that someday never comes, or if it comes, it's too late, right? So it's very important that we understand this principle, that we have to empower our dreams with deadlines. And project management is a very important aspect that one should learn, is because it teaches you how to stick to deadlines, how to take ownership of a project, how to break down a massive project into small tasks, into small milestones, and every day you achieve little milestone, and you go towards you're able to complete a bigger task that way. And that's called the compounding effect, the power of compounding, right? Little bit every day adds to so much more than a lot in one day and nothing another day. Just like gym, you go to the gym, you try to make your body fit, right? Little bit every day, 1 hour every day, 2 hours every day, that's enough. But if you try to do like on the weekend 4 hours and nothing during the weekdays, you will never see a difference. In fact, you will hurt yourself because your body is not used to exercising, and only once a week when you do it, you hurt yourself. So similarly with life also, do little things every day, add a LinkedIn connection, learn a new skill, attend a webinar, etc. So at Kolkata Ventures, we do a lot of skill development webinars. So we do a lot of startup related webinars in terms of like how to start a startup with zero money and zero coding. So this Sunday it's coming up. So you can go to kolkataventures.com/events and you can sign up for it. So this weekend itself, we are doing it. This actually tomorrow, I'm doing it. So how to start a startup with zero coding. So basically, things have become so easy. You don't have to pay for WordPress. You don't have to pay for YouTube. You don't have to pay for so many things. You can build your virtual digital product. You can build a funnel. You can build advertising, all of that for pretty much clicking, dragging, and dropping. That's how easy it has become. So if one is not making money, especially during COVID-19, then you're missing out, because the opportunity is all there, tremendous, that didn't exist even 10 years ago. Right? When I was starting a startup, there were no incubators. There was no Avelo Roy guiding me. I had to figure out things. Of course, I had professors and their friends, but there was no startup ecosystem. So I was in the US. I was fortunate to be in the US, where millionaires and billionaire entrepreneurs were guiding me through, right? And that learning helped me go from 0 to million in a matter of 3 years, 19 years. I started by the time I was 22. I made my first $1 million company. And that's because I learned what to do and what not to do from those who have built multi-million-dollar businesses. So that's the important aspect. You have to understand that there's knowledge available right now, more knowledge available than we know what to do with it. So don't go for the hollow motivational speakers who have never done anything in their lives, never achieved anything, and they talk about all believe in yourself shit. Go for people who actually done something, who are validated. There's a reason why these awards are behind me. I I mean, one might say, oh, you're showing off. And the answer is yes, I'm showing off. Because there is so many people out there who are cheating people, who are fooling people, having done nothing in their lives. They're telling people how to make their lives better. And so these are validations when it shows that, you know what, this guy has done something and he's speaking from his experience. So that's very, very important. One should understand that do something powerful, valuable, make other people's lives better. Money will be there in your pocket. When you solve people's problems, people will be happy to pay for your solution. That's the basis of a service business, entrepreneurship, or anything you do in life. You know, when you add value to a company, you get promoted, right? Because you're indispensable. They like you. They don't want to let you go. So I'll end it here. It's been half an hour. I have been speaking, and I'll see if you guys have any questions.
Okay. So
Harsh,
let
please help me with that.
yes. Let's just do the round for question and answer. So all those who have questions can just write down their questions in the comment section, and sir will answer those questions.
Harsh, I'd prefer if you read the questions and I'll answer.
Okay, sure, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Also, the What After College online workshop series that we conduct every weekend is affiliated to IIT Kharagpur and Triple IT Allahabad. So, if you guys are interested, just go to our website and check it out. And the password for today's feedback form is this. So, those who will be filling the feedback form, please note this password down. Let's just wait for questions. Okay, so for Arpan has asked, what are the jobs can we get from automation courses?
That's a very broad question. Depends on your skill and automation. You know what you're learning in automation, whether it's technology, whether it's processes, whether it's QA. You know, whatever you study, those what skills you develop is what kind of job you get. And please don't mistake me for a career counselor. I'm not a career counselor. I'm an entrepreneur, and that's the kind of answer I can give you. Okay, next question.
Sir David has asked, does I require problem management skill for a future job?
Sorry, what?
Does I require problem management skills for a future job?
Always, whether it's job or even your marriage, or wherever you are, you need to have problem management skills. How you solve a problem is with your creativity, with your emotional intelligence, with prior experience, following the rules and the laws, right? That's required in every single job, every single part of your life, in fact.
Sir Bhargav has asked how automation is going to boost the manufacturing sector.
Automation is it has already boosted the manufacturing sector for a very long time, the robotics and all that. But when I say automation, I was meaning more in terms of software automation, right? So hardware, yes, it's already been in place, but with software, it's going to be even more intrusive, right? So, for example, your phone has a operating system, your computer has an operating system. Now, your car also was going to have an operating system. It already does. Many of the cars have its own operating system. There's software updates, right? Tesla, for example. So yes. There's going to be manufacturing, but also medical. Every single aspect of our lives are going to be automated. Less people, more software. So yeah, it's going to make things better, but it's also going to make humans redundant. So humans need to learn to do what humans do best, and that's why I spoke what I spoke about the right brain and being creative and being a human, is because that's what machines cannot do, and that's what we need to be better at.
Uh, Sir, Aswini has asked, I read a lot of books, I write a lot of poems and articles, but I have a stage fear and I start stammering while going on a presentation. So can you have any idea or can you help me with it if you have any advice for it?
Certainly. Would you believe me if I told you I am an introvert? So when I was in college, I had only one friend, my roommate, and then my startup started. I ran for election, and I was forced to give speech and pitch to investors and things like that. It was out of my comfort zone. But what helped me was survival instinct. So just like right now is recession, people are losing jobs. 2009 was the same thing. People were losing jobs, no investors were investing. And for me, survival was startup. I couldn't get a job because I was terrible at being an employee. I'm just an entrepreneur, in and out. So I was forced to I got rejected by 300 venture capitalists. So imagine I did so many pitches, so many investor pitches. So I got so good at it that now I have done 4 TED Talks, Josh Talk. I have done 200 videos on YouTube, done 500 speaking engagements. But that all started from that survival instinct. So force yourself to get in a situation where the survival depends on your ability to speak. And you will see that when a gun is put to your head, impossible becomes possible. Till then, there are insecurities and fears that we have from our past, maybe childhood or whatever else, is psychologically hindering us from going forward. There is some fear, there is something subconsciously working. You might not think it's a fear, but subconsciously there might be, right? There's a beautiful video of Tony Robbins who takes somebody who stutters, and basically in that video itself he fixes his stuttering problem. How does he do it? He tells him, go back, close your eyes and go back in your childhood. Where did this start from? And there was an incident that happened that guy mentioned, and then Tony Robbins walked him through. It's called natural language processing, I think, NLP. uh, Anyway, whatever the thing is, NLP is in technology, but this is another NLP. And Tony Robbins walked him out of that whole stuttering problem and made him into a public speaker just by helping him psychologically. So a lot of psychological insecurities inhibit us from expressing ourselves. So but when you put survival, that to the brain is higher priority than your psychological inhibitions. So that takes higher precedence, higher urgency, and as a result, you're pushed to go out of your comfort zone, and you get better and better and better at speaking because you have to survive to speak.
Sir, Raisa has asked, sir, is he
I'll take just
focused on...
1 minute from you. 1 minute. As I was speaking, my hand gestures, my specs went flying. I'll just get my
Okay, sure.
glasses.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. O- Okay. So, sir, Raisa has asked, sir, is he focused on creativity for the eras to come? Is technical knowledge value going to deteriorate? Also, if it is still there, will the competition be hard as 1 out of 1,000? Or is the competition going to be tough?
Yes, very, because most of the technical stuff is going to be irrelevant because deep learning means technology learning to modify itself, right? So back in the days, what programmers had to do every single bit, now programmers create modules, and a lot of the things actually happens. Artificial intelligence, deep learning, these are things where the program is programming itself and evolving itself. So you have to be really, really highly skilled to be relevant in the future in terms of technical knowledge, because most of it is going to be easy. Like today, back in the days, you had to know HTML to build a website. Today, you can go on WordPress and 2 hours you have a website, drag and drop, copy paste, and you're done, right? So technology is not necessary to build a website. You can make money on a website, that you just built on WordPress. In fact, many of our startups just do that. And then when they have millions of users, then they go build something custom just to make sure that they have. So yes, you're right. In terms of creativity is going to be more important. Technology, tech skills are going to be less important. And even today, you can see so many engineers are delivering newspaper or working as a chef or whatever else, because they're not getting jobs. There are more engineers than need for engineers, and the need is going to go down, down, down. What the need is going to be is for really high level stuff that requires 10 years of experience or whatever, right? So yes, it's going to be tougher with technical skills. So you need to couple your technical skill with soft skills, creativity, and other talents that God has given you. Let those come out. A lot of times what happens in middle class families, we are not allowed to express our god given talent. Somebody will be very good at sculpting, very good at designing, very good at sketching or singing or whatever else, poetry, right? And you're forced to look away from those because, oh, you cannot make money from that. Today that's not true anymore. Storytelling is a big money maker. Any Facebook ad requires storytelling, any YouTube video requires storytelling, so storytelling is a big aspect. Like our grandmothers have been telling us stories all our lives, right? But they never got paid for it. But today people, storytellers make money, poets are making money, graphic designers, sketch artists are making money, because everything is advertising, everything is on Facebook, everything is people want to be unique, they want to be different. Our regional languages, back in the days it used to be like, if you can speak English then you're going to be successful, if you cannot speak English you're not going to be successful. But today vernacular language is more important because money is there in tier 2 tier 3 cities, and people don't like English, they prefer their own mother tongue. And those who have apps in their mother tongue, they prefer to use those apps. Like Paytm is in multi-language, many apps are in multi-language. Google, Hindi, even though voice works, right? Marathi, different languages, Bengali. So point is, technology is changing, evolving very much. You need to use your tech skills coupled with soft skills and whatever gifts you have from God to be relevant in tomorrow's world.
Okay. So, Sir Priyank is asking, what are the skills that he should add to crack a job interview?
Um, to crack a job interview, one of the important skills, actually, I made a video that I launched just last night on this. So if you go to youtube.com/Avelo Roy, you'll see the video, how to simplify complicated things. This is what happens in a job interview. And I've interviewed thousands of people, so I can tell you this. In a day, I'll probably interview 10, 15 people, right? Each person 10 minutes or so. At the end of the day, me and my team, management team, we probably be looking at like, okay, what about this girl? What about this guy? What about this girl? Okay. But we just remember 5% of what they said. Now, the 5% that I remember, that means 95% of your effort was wasted. I remember one or two things that you said that was very good and I liked it. Or one or two things you said that was very bad, so your resume is going in the trash, right? The rest of the things you said, I don't even recall anymore because I've gone through so many candidates. So what you need to engineer is what you want your interviewer to remember about you. What you say repeatedly is what they remember. So if you have, let's say, if you say, you should hire me because I really want to work, they don't care that you really want to work. They want to know what can you do for the company. When you say, my skills are proven because I have done this project, and that project, and I have proven that my skills are relevant. That's when they see, oh, okay, that's awesome. I'll give you an example. I was hiring in the US, and the job that I was going to pay for is around $80,000 I had in mind. This was a speed hiring process where it's like speed dating. So each person 90 seconds. So the one guy who came and I had his resume, he said he has built already 20 apps during college, and the last app he built has 50,000 users on it. And I was like, so I was hiring for app development, and I was like, my God, I cannot offer him 80,000. I have to offer him 120,000, right? So he didn't have to negotiate with me. His work that he has done was enough to convince me that I need to give him more, right? So similarly, in the job situation, in an interview, when you're cracking an interview, talk about what have you done outside what everybody else has done. Everybody has gone through the curriculum. Everybody's gotten some GPA. But what have you done outside the box? What have you done creatively? Have you taken some project? Have you done some research? Have you built a website? Have you done a startup idea? Have you done a course on Coursera? Have you gotten an award for sports or whatever else, right? Whatever you've done outside, that makes you stick out. That, okay, this person is different than the others. When they understand you're different, that's when they remember you. When they remember you, you have more chances of getting the job than if you say a lot of things. I know Java, I know this, I know that, I know this. Like, okay, everybody else is saying the same thing, so they don't recall that. So make yourself memorable. Watch the video I just talked about. It's on youtube.com/Avelo Roy. It's about how to take a lot of information and simplify it and give it to the person on the other side of the table in a way that they remember you and the decision goes in your favor. It's a 5-minute video. I think it will help you with your job interviews.
So Surya is asking, how should I be pitching for investors?
Know one thing: investor is not here to do charity. Investor is looking to grow his or her money. So if you were to grow your money, right, what would you do? You would, let's say you have the option of real estate, you have the option of a startup, and you have the option of, I don't know, drop shipping. You would look for the lowest risk, the fastest return on investment, and you would also look for where you actually can brag about it. Like, I invested in a startup that does crypto mining in space, which is actually a true startup. I was about to invest, and then later on didn't. But the point is, it makes a great story. So an investor is looking to grow his money, is looking for less risk, is looking for a wonderful way to brag about it. So how are you going to make that happen? That's your pitch. So generally, what startups do is they talk about how great they are, technology and this and that and awards. Okay, but they never talk about how the investor's money will grow. That's very important. You talk to the investor that this is, look, without your money we have already accomplished so much. So don't go to an investor with idea, because everybody has ideas. An investor has more ideas than you do. Investor also has developers, designers, lawyers, accountants, everything. So he can do it better than you, faster than you. When you come to investor, you have to come with execution, that I have already accomplished this without your help. With your help I can do so much more, right? I can build a repeatable and scalable business model, and I can grow your money. You need me to grow your money. I need you to grow my business. Together, we are partners. That's the pitch. Now, you do that through your pitch deck and whatnot, problems, solution, market, go-to-market strategy, competitive analysis, financial projections, exit strategy, etc., etc., etc. Right? All of those are on my YouTube channel. You can have detailed many videos on investor pitch, how to win an investor pitch, and many of our startups have actually got an investor pitch, investments, because they have watched those videos and they come to the webinars. So they're all there. Just go on Avelo Roy, youtube.com/Avelo Roy. All those videos are there. Okay, next question.
So she is asking, how do I gain trust as a startup in e-commerce with no capital, so I can have goods from shops and resale?
How is trust developed? You say trust me and
Exactly.
people trust you. That's not how it works, right? Trust develops over a period of time when you have a reputation, when you have consistency in your action, when you're consistently good, consistently reliable. So don't expect shops to just trust you to give their products for your e-commerce site. You have to show traction. So the way it works, what you're asking me is basically either you can do it through a Shopify website, which is, again, you can very cheaply start, or probably start with almost no money. Um, or you can just do drop shipping, where directly from sources from a manufacturer, and have the manufacturer ship it to Amazon warehouse or Flipkart warehouse, and you do the marketing part, right? That's the easiest way to get started with e-commerce. Again, I'm not getting in the details, but overall that's what it is. Plenty of blogs available, you could read them. But trust, when you say gain trust, that's a very important statement, and that takes time, that takes consistency of behavior, that takes relationship. Only then people trust you. That does, I cannot give you a magic stick. You have to show that, look, I have taken your product, I've sold it. I've taken your product, I've sold it. Now when you say I need a credit of 120 days, yeah, they'll be like, okay, you have consistently delivered, you have consistently given your money, so I trust you. Now I can give you a 120-day or a 90-day credit period, right? All right, next question.
Uh, so Deepak is asking, I'm interested to start in a startup, drone delivery startup, basically things delivered by drones. But he wants to know how should he start it? Like how should it
uh,
be the beginning?
the laws in our country don't yet fully allow that to happen. Otherwise, Amazon would be the first to do it. So you have to wait for the laws to change. If you do it, it might be considered. There could be many problems with privacy invasion, to laws of the air. How high you can fly your drone, in which state, which city, rural. Rural, it might be still easier. A lot of nowadays crops are being pesticides are being given by drones and water is given by drones, artificial intelligence. So it's like exactly the right amount. But in cities and whatnot, you have to wait for the laws to change. Next.
Surya is
Surya Raj,
asking.
is it easier to build a startup in India or in US? Uh, it's not easy to start a startup, or rather build a startup anywhere. It's just, let's just understand that first, because it takes a different mindset. It takes problem solving mindset. It takes the ability to inspire others to come and join you, your co-founders, your advisors, investors. It's not easy, uh, but in India the opportunity is high. Many things need to be built. Our country is not there yet. America, even the guy who comes to clean my toilet has a car, has an iPhone. Right? India is not like that. So there's a lot of haves, there's a lot of have-nots. The opportunity is far more in India. India has a lot more people, a billion people who are looking for jobs. So it's easier to find people. But those people are not also good talent. That's the problem. America, people are talented, people are ethical. They do what they do whether you're there or not. So if they're getting paid, the culture is that I don't want to cheat someone. I'm taking somebody's money, I'll do my job. In India, I'll take the money and I'll not do the job. And you have to have camera and everything to make sure your employees are working. So that's the difference. But the opportunity is higher in India. The buying power is higher in America. So one US person is equal to 70 Indian people, right? So just why YouTube channels, if you see, YouTubers in India have millions of viewers, but they don't make as much money as YouTubers in America, because those viewers, although less, have higher buying power. So the advertising money that comes for them is far more than Indian audience, where even a rickshawala or a driver, everybody's watching YouTube on their phones on Geo network. So YouTube doesn't value their buying power as much. So buying power is higher in the US, buying power is less in India. So the best way to do it is build in India, market in America. That way you win from both places. Cheap labor in India, high buying power in America. Abhishek Mundra, how to tame rigid consumer base, as most of Indian consumer employer base is same. No, it's not true. If most of Indian consumer base would be same, then you wouldn't see companies like Zomato, Paytm, Byju's being taken up. It's not same. There are some who can be convinced, who there are some who cannot be convinced, and the some who can be convinced is still a lot in number, because we are a billion people population. So plenty of differences. Don't fight with those customer base that won't change. Go for the customer base that would. Generally it works as like a pyramid, right? In a pyramid, at the top, when you charge more, you have less customers, more buying power, less problems. At the bottom, there's less buying power, more customers, lot of competition, lot of problems. So be a BMW, don't be a Ford. That's what I would suggest. Next, Telugu Badi. What are the prerequisites to learn AI? You know what? I have not studied in India, so I don't know. Next question. Sir, what are the things I must do to be a successful startup? You have very broad questions. So first thing is you have to build a team that is capable, has skills, uh, that can actually build things, hard skills and soft skills. Two is ability to sell to investors, sell to customers. And three is technology. If you can automate your system, then you can build one product, an app or a website, and you can monetize that through millions, through billions, how many ever people. So if you build a physical product, you can have to manufacture so many of them. For a digital product, with technology, you can have one product and millions of people using it on their phones and making money. So ability to get people on board who are capable of execution, ability to sell, ability to have tech enabled scalable businesses. Next question. Bhargav Bhagat, How will 5G enhance the hardware automation industry? Um, Cars, so driverless cars, although it's possible now with 5G, more in inter-car communication can happen. Augmented reality becomes a reality, right? So you don't have to have, let's say if there's a fire, you don't have to have a human being taking care of overseeing things. So 5G enhances the ability of hardwares. So just think this, what speed would do. My question to you, Bhagwat, you must be an engineer. So automation industry, speed, what would speed do in the automation industry? What would interconnectedness do in the automation industry? Think about it and you'll have the answer for it. More interconnectedness, more robots talking to each other. Surya Raj, how to convince smarter and more skilled people than you to work for you, by showing them a vision. So when I was a 19-year-old, I was getting people who are far smarter than me, who are 45 years old, who are having cars like Ferrari and things like that, having $2 million apartments, and and we had nothing. We were sharing. Me and my co-founder were sharing one phone. We call it the V phone. So how did we get them on board? Because in their life, what they don't have and what we have is passion, the ability to change lives. They are a small part in a big company, right? Where they don't get the fulfillment beyond the money. And in a startup, what you have is fulfillment because you can see the customer smile, seeing your product, using your product. And that's how you get those people. Like, okay, in a TCS or an Infosys, you're a nobody. In this startup, you're a CTO or a CMO or a CXO, right? You're the one leading the effort. You're building something that others can appreciate. You're building a dream. So you have to show, you have to be a leader. A leader shows a vision, sells a vision. So you need to sell the vision, and that's how you get them onboarded. When you dream and they dream and the dream is the same dream together, then you walk towards that dream together and you all win together. Okay, 3 more minutes and I'll be gone. Smriti Singh, from where should we start to improve our technical skills, like step by step? Whatever technical skill you want, give yourself a project. I remember when I came to India in 2014, I had a month and I was trying to figure out what to do. I gave myself a project. I said, I'm going to build AveloRoy.com. So I learned WordPress. I learned a little bit of HTML. I learned SEO. I learned digital marketing. I learned, I gave myself a goal. I said 45 days, I want 25,000 users within 45 days. How will I do that? So I started reading blogs and YouTube and online courses and everything and figured out. And within 30 days or so, I was able to reach my goal of 25,000 users. So that's what you do. You set a project for yourself and you go all out with it, and it will, the need for technology will teach you how to apply that, learn the technology and apply it, and that you'll learn so well that you'll be able to teach others also.
Okay, so let's just end the question and answer round and ask everyone how was the session for them. So all of you can just very quickly write in the comment section how was the session for you today, so we can get a feedback. And sir, this is a certificate, a very small gesture from Let's Talk for coming for the webinar. It was a really interesting and amazing webinar. We all learned a lot today. Thank you so much for coming for the webinar today.
Thank you very much. Take care of
Uh,
yourselves. Go ahead.
okay, so let me just very quickly tell you about what is What After College offering you. What After College is offering you a mentor LED online training program. These programs you will get. These programs are like summer online training program. These are in the field of Android development, Python program, machine learning, and data science. If you are interested in these programs, you can call on the number below, or you can just go to our website whataftercollege.com if you are interested in these. We are also offering Microsoft recorded programs. These programs are just for 999 rupees. You will also get a Microsoft certificate after finishing these programs. So if you are interested, just call on the number below to get more details regarding these programs. Okay, so this is the What After College online workshop series. We conduct these workshop series every weekend. These workshop series are conducted in the field of artificial intelligence, ethical hacking, 3D printing, Internet of Things, Android development, robotics, digital marketing, automobile, and IC engineering. So if you are interested in these workshops, you can just go to shop.whataftercollege.com and pay for these workshops. The good news is that you can also get a 50% discount for these workshops. How you can get that discount is when I'll share the feedback form of today's webinar, you will have to fill the feedback form. Then you will get the certificate for today's webinar. You will have to share this certificate on your Instagram or your LinkedIn profile and send us the link and screenshot to the email ID mentioned below. So if you are really interested in these workshops, please fill the feedback form when I'll share you the link in the comment section, and so that you can get a certificate for today's webinar and share it on your Instagram or LinkedIn to get the 50% discount. Also, we have a campus ambassador program. In this campus ambassador program, you will get a campus ambassador certificate. You can also build your network among industry leaders. You can also build a professional LinkedIn profile. So if you are interested in our campus ambassador program, just text me on the number below. So I'll be sharing you the link of the feedback form now. All those who want the certificate for today's webinar, please fill the feedback form. The feedback form is open for another 5 minutes only, so please hurry up and fill the feedback form. The link of the feedback form has been shared in the live comment section. Just click on the link and fill the feedback form. The password was shared to you during the live webinar, so all those who have watched the webinar must know the password.